Live from virtual Interlagos, we welcome race fans one and all here to Sao Paulo, Brazil, to the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace for round number 6 of 8 in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series. Hello one and all and welcome. My name is Lamborghini. I'll be bringing you all of the coverage from start to finish of the penultimate race here at Interlagos. It should be a very fantastic run for us here tonight as we get set to go racing for yet another 20 minutes of racing action. Gonna take a brief chance here to check in on how the championship standings are going to be shaken up entering tonight's race. And as you can see, it is still Ricky Freeman Jr. up at the top of the boards with Aiden Smith in second place, DeBello in third, 29 points separate Freeman from Smith. Smith needs to get himself a win here tonight, or at least the highest point scoring position. If Ricky Freeman Jr. gets himself another win, he could quite potentially take home the championship and lock it all out here tonight in Interlagos. So as qualifying is just getting underway here, there's a good number of drivers already out there on the racing circuit and more drivers looking to get themselves a bit further out through the order. So far, you got all but 5 cars out there on the racetrack for the time being. And at this point, it is going to be a bit of a question here as to who could potentially find themselves up on top of everything here tonight. And so, as we get set to let qualifying tick on through, why don't we take a lap on board here with the likes of that number 96 car of Casey Nanico. Show you what a lap is like here around Interlagos. So Casey Nanico currently finds himself second place in the overall point standings, and second place on the timing boards, I should say. And a good little ways off behind the likes of William Brock. It is going to be, though, Stephen Colon currently finding himself provisional pole with a 1:31.856. The benchmark time for drivers to beat. Of course, there is still going to be a good number of drivers that will be able to get themselves some extra time here tonight. See a good number of drivers here all kind of tucked in together, which could be a potential hazardous for these drivers as they try to get themselves sorted on their qualifying laps. Obviously, being this tightly condensed is only going to stand to make things a little bit more challenging as they try to get a quick lap in. You're going to be a lot better off if you're in loaner packs like Aiden Smith here in the number 82 car, or like Zachary DeBello in the 87 machine. I am curious to see here what Zachary DeBello will be able to do on his lap tonight. There's Ricky Freeman Jr. coming across the line, but how about that for Freeman? Only good enough for 8th on the boards. We'll have to see if he can potentially get a better run for himself here tonight. DeBello going to take the start-finish line now. And DeBello finds himself up on pole position for now by just half a tenth of a second. So it is nice and tight out there at the top of the board so far. Does Steven Colon have the potential to improve as he comes across start finish? Does not go faster, 132.356 for the likes of Steven Colon. Shea Barrett will go 5th fastest. How about Patrick Smith improving? Mason Skinner logs his first time down, will go 13th. And Aiden Smith will now find himself on provisional pole position. How about that for Smith? 7 thousandths of a second up on Zachary DeBello. That is insane for lap times. And no doubt we're going to be continuing to see these drivers still having some potential runs of themselves here today. Ricky Freeman Jr., like I said, to see if he can improve on his laps. Does improve, but only good enough for 10th at the moment. And similar story, I do believe, for Zachary DeBello. He is not able to improve. Watching Steven Colon, seeing if he'll be able to make something up. Across the start-finish line of 132.2, does not improve. And Shea Barrett's going to go down to pit road. Good number of drivers actually coming into pit road. Aiden Smith, though, looks like he's going to improve. So does Mason Skinner. Smith not going to improve, though. Backs out of the last second and was not able to get a better lap in. Under 2 minutes left to go in qualifying to this point. Unless drivers are already out there, they're not going to be able to have time to get extra laps in. Freeman once again looking to improve, but he doesn't go slower at all seconds. In fact, it's a 132.8. Ricky Freeman Jr. just does not have pace here tonight. Really makes you wonder if something is amiss with the likes of Ricky Freeman Jr. to find himself so far off pace. 60 seconds left to go in qualifying, just under that now. Colon's going to bail to pit road. Will we see Smith do the same? Luca Garza, Mason Skinner also in this group. They are also going to come into pit road, except for Aiden Smith, who stays out for one more, but cannot improve on his pole time. Cody go fourth. Improved in the second to last sector, but he's going to come to pit road regardless. At least Ricky Freeman Jr. now as the last car out there that is on an active flying lap. And he is going to come into pit road as well. Checker flag is out on qualifying. We just now have to wait for the last few drivers to come across the line. You got a number of drivers on out laps, including DeBello, Brock, Vincent, Devlin, and Preston. None of these drivers going to be able to find themselves the ability, though, to put down an extra lap. So all of these drivers going to be coming around, and they'll be seeing the checkered flag in qualifying. So unfortunate for all of them. They're looking to try to get an extra lap in, but they're not going to be able to do so. These are the last drivers now. We're just waiting on them to come across the start-finish line now. And we will get set to go racing here for round number 6 of 8 in the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series. It's time now for us to get through your starting grid here for round number 6 of 8. As we get set to go racing, we're going to show you how everything is going to be lining on up here from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. It's Aiden Smith on pole position with Zachary DeBello 7 thousandths of a second off in second place. That is bound to be one heck of a fight here tonight. Stephen Colon is third place with William Brock in fourth. Casey Natico is fifth. Shea Barrett is sixth. Patrick Smith rounds out the first half of the field. For there you go, Bobby Vincent, Luca Garza, Ricky Freeman Jr., the likes of Cody Goforth, Leo Devlin, finishing it off with Cameron Preston and Mason Skinner. Going to reiterate once more the championship standings entering tonight's race. Freeman clear by 29 points. And it needs to have a good result if he wants to maintain that gap to make it so he'll have a lockout win out of either this race or 7th. But Aiden Smith, starting from pole with Freeman all the way down in 10th, could be the moment where we see that championship gap finally start to close on in. Lights are out. We are underway. And they thunder down to turn number 1. Aiden Smith pulling ahead, clears from DeBello in the mad dash into turn number 1. DeBello still battled out with Stephen Colon as they swing on down through the center, exit out through Curva Grande down towards the Descida del Lago. Fanning out 2, almost 3 wide. William Brock going to be lunging for the inside line, up the inside of Stephen Colon, into turn number 4. They're going to get themselves single filed out as they sprint back up the hill into the middle portion of the sector, the slower part of the circuit. Sends up for Bigo Napato, the tightest hairpin that you've got on the racing circuit around Interlagos, down through Margullo and towards Junsao. Zachary DeBello pulling clear. Stephen Colon trying to see if he can't run down Aiden Smith to try to go for the points battle. Bello, of course, has had a solid run so far. He's trying to pull himself up and see if he can't maybe go for a race win and try to get himself up at the lead of this thing. Gonna be side by side in towards turn number 1. DeBello trying to find the outside line, but it's not gonna happen. And your top 2 starting to break away already from the main portion of this path. They're already about a second clear. You also got all these battles further in behind. Here you see your fight for 6 between Casey Natico and Shea Barrett. And they are all clustered up nice and tight in the fight for 3rd place overall. Outside line for William Brock. over and under into the hairpins of the middle portion of the racetrack. Brock's going to go through, as well as that Aiden Smith trying to defend Zachary DeBello. DeBello taking the outside line, trying to go for the race lead early on at Interlagos. Not going to happen, though, this time by. Going to show you once again where DeBello tried to go for the race lead, just lunged for the inside line. Smith wasn't having it, though, kept him at bay around the outside, and just managed to fend him off. Excellent racing that we're starting to see here already in the overall fight for the race lead from Interlagos. No moves being made up and down throughout the grid into turn number 1. But could we see something potentially in the run down and towards turn number 4? Doesn't look like we will. So no moves made yet through the Descida del Lago. The top 3 all separated by just half a second as Zachary DeBello tries to take the outside line away from Aiden Smith. Goes for the outside line, cuts back for the low side, and now DeBello going to go through, and DeBello is up and into the race lead. And look out further back, Stephen Colon looking to have a charge. Cologne's going to go outside line all the way in the run down towards Junsal, but can't make it stick on William Brock. The whole field is still so tightly clustered together. Mason Skinner off course. So what happened here? Whoa! Just looped it around at Junsal, and that's an easy mistake to make. Skinner, once again, his struggles from Brands Hatch not doing him any favors right now. "15 minutes left to go in this race already, a quarter of the way through. Just where does the time fly?" Brock's trying to make an attack, up for second place. Can't get the outside momentum that he needed. Might be able to have a go at it here into turn number 1. He get a good enough drive off of the corner of Junsal. DeBello has already pulled about an 0.8 of a second gap up over Aiden Smith and the others. On board with the back of your race leader, Zachary DeBello, as he keeps to try to hold the rest of the field at bay. Brock looking to make an attack. But it doesn't look like he's just quite able to do so. You can see the fight for second place, about a second between second on back all the way to 6th place. Brock's now trying for the outside line, and he's going to get it here, I think. He cut to the inside for the left-hand hairpin. He's in there, got the nose in, almost banging doors. Pushes Smith out towards the right-hand side. And that's only going to open up the door for Stephen Cologne to try to make an attack. And And Cologne can't make it happen. He's going to have to wait just a little bit longer. But what a solid effort. Field thunders back down the pit straightaway in towards turn number 1. You can see DeBello already several car lengths clear now, looking to just walk away with the race here at Interlagos. See, Cameron Preston has already dropped down a long ways. Mason Skinner obviously only dropping after he spun around. Oh, is Brock trying to go at it again? Yes, he is, taking the high side. But this time can't make it stick through the left-hander immediately following. Through the pin Hierhino. And over Bico de Pato down towards Junsal once again. Gap is closing in, up for second place. Brock looks high, Smith goes defensive. Brock, I think, backed out as they approach through the Sena Esses. And out through the Curva du Sol. Sure enough, no moves being made just yet. Jet back in the middle of this field, you can also see drivers like Bobby Vincent and Shea Barrett also in the mix of this, but they haven't really had a whole lot to say. Now this battle is played out. So far, all they've been doing is just kind of sitting around and just biding their time. They're being patient. We are already halfway through this race. Again, Brock looks high, but he's not able to make anything stick. Oh, hello. Steven Cologne, though, tries to hold the highest lane through. Doesn't work. Casey Nanico thought about sticking his nose in. Thought about it, whether it was successful or not. Well, I think the fact that he's still where he's at kind of answers that for itself. You can see all the movers and shakers. So far, people have only really moved up or lost one spot. Not a whole lot going on other than that. Nanico, Barrett, Preston, Skinner, all still where they're at on the day. No changes being made there. See all the gaps overall, and as well as where they are relative to each other. So we continue to let this race just cycle its way through. We're starting to already get into those final closing minutes and look at how tightly packed together everyone still is. A far cry from what it was like at Brands Hatch as Brock once again attacks the outside lane. On Aiden Smith, can he get through this time? Smith still fighting with them. Smith holds the inside line. Here comes Cologne once again trying to open up attack. How many times we've seen this already this race, and it just never works out for Cologne, and it will not work out again. Tell you what, these drivers really battling valiantly to keep where they're at the moment. task so far for anybody throughout this field to try to see if they can't make up a pass. They are in a very long draft train, and that prevents them from being able to properly attack each other down to the turn one. Oh, hello, Shea Barrett! Looks to the inside of Casey Nanico going through the center S, and can he hang the outside line through? Doesn't look, looks like he might try through cover the soul, but can't get there. A solid effort, though, from Shea Barrett. Bobby Vincent starting to close in the gap, and Vincent's going to look to attack Barrett in the run down towards the Descida del Lago. An effort, though, that ends up going nowhere. And try as they might, I am starting to really doubt that they're going to be able to make anything work in this battle for second place at this point, unless Brock really starts to try something different. You can see Brock and Smith have really been staying just about even on each other so far. It's like 10th gained one lap, a couple tenths lost the next, a couple tenths gained the next. It's very, very even, and that's why they're staying so close together. It really does make it difficult for them to try to see how it's going to go between the two of them. See, William Brock lost a little bit that last time by, then gained it right back in sector two. Once again, the margins, oh, so fine. Aiden Smith going for it this time by. Can Smith hang on as Brock tries to attack? Oh, this time Brock's got the inside line all the way down towards just Sal, but once again just can't get enough to make it. And problems are Mason Skinner. Jamming on the brakes. Whoa, going for a very high-speed spin, but keeps it steady. As well as that, this was the fight. I'm going to actually check in on the fight between Patrick Smith and Bobby Vincent. There was the opening for P7, which you saw Justin Watkins battle for a second, picking up. Look at this lunge, outside line for the number 31 car, taking it away from the 26. How about that? Patrick Smith blitzing past Bobby Vincent. If only we could be seeing William Brock making such an effort. Cologne looks for the low side, but just can't find the way in. It's the little holes that you got to try to find, and right now Brock is not able to find any of them. You now see just how far in front Zachary DeBello is by looking at the track map on the right-hand side. I mean, already up over the top of the hill while the field is still at the bottom of Jun Sao. Really not able to just express just how fast DeBello has been so far this race. Oh, and Skinner's gone off again, it would seem. This was into the middle section of the racetrack as he lost it on the brakes again. Yep, too deep, looping it around. Tell you what, it has not been a fun time for Mason Skinner out there on the racetrack so far. And a 10-second gap now to race leader Zachary DeBello. That is just absolutely insane. DeBello has pulled out about 8/10 of lap. Outside line once again. William Brock attacking, but this time he doesn't get nearly as good of a run. That opened up the door for Cologne to leave a hole. But at the end of the day, it all goes nowhere. Final lap this time by. One more chance to see if these drivers will be able to make anything work. Skinner once again going off course. Oh, loops it around again. Mason Skinner is just not having a fun time at all on the racetrack right now. Blasting down towards the seat of the Lago for the final time. There's going to be an overtake. You would think he would have to come for second place. Is William Brock close enough? Once again, lunges forward on the final lap, but can't get the nose ahead. Aiden Smith just too evenly matched for him to do anything. Such a rough ride. DeBello, meanwhile, cresting through the final couple of corners now. And on lap 13, DeBello is going to fight back in the championship, and he is going to come home and steal a race win away, taking it from Aiden Smith on the opening lap, and wins in Interlagos. The rest of the field coming across now. There will be no changes in position up or down. Leaving just now the final two drivers on the racetrack. Cameron Preston just coming across the line. And then there is a very, very lonely Mason Skinner, the last remaining driver out on the racetrack. What a tough race for Skinner. The only driver, by the way, that actually crashed at all, and he had a total of a good 4 spins in just a 20-minute race. Talk about a day to forget for Skinner. Going to take a look at our official post-race results now. Or in just a moment, I should say, as we get set to take a look at how the championship order will shake up. It is Zachary DeBello on pole position, or in the race win, I should say, 11.5 seconds up from Aiden Smith. How about William Brock in third, just to round out the podium? And it'll be with Stephen Cologne in fourth. That puts Casey Nanico in fifth, Shea Barrett sixth. Patrick Smith is seventh with Bobby Vincent in eighth. Ricky Freeman Jr. is ninth. We've got Luca Garza to round out the top 10 of the points pay positions. Leo Devlin is 11th, Codiga fourth is 12th. Cameron Preston in 13th. With Mason Skinner down in 14th place, over a minute behind race winner, Zachary DeBello. And with that, we're going to once again also show you how these are going to shake up in the championship standings. Or I should say we will in just a brief moment. We sort out some of the very brief technical difficulties. Well, it doesn't look like we're going to quite be able to get the graphic fully updated. Bit unfortunate there on that one, but I can safely tell you that it is going to be Ricky Freeman Jr. still in the points with 102 points, but the gap has shrunk with Aiden Smith even closer, 89 points, and now only 13 off of Freeman's results. That's all the time we're going to have for one day then here from the Autodromo San Jose Passe, and we get set to say thank you for joining us here tonight from Interlagos for yet more racing action for the Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series. We'll see you all next time when we go racing back over in Europe, in Austria, at the Red Bull Ring.